For welcome to our team call. I am so excited to have Ashley. It says Breezy, but it's really Ashley. You know how we all share each other's account, so she's sharing. So Ashley and I, we knew of each other before we went to Mexico with Brigida, but we got to know each other in Mexico a lot more, and I was just so blown out of the water with how organized she is. This girl has everything just simplified so much, and I feel like if I could get organized like this, I feel like this business would be way easier, because I wouldn't feel like I'm running around like, oh no, where did I put this? Oh, it's in this notebook, and this is in that notebook, and whatever. So I felt like this would be a really, really good call for all of us, for our team, and Ashley has invited her team as well to join us. So I'm super excited. So I just wanted to introduce her. Ashley lives in Idaho.
Utah.
And she is, what's that?
Utah.
Oh,
Breezy's in Idaho. That's how we met. It's all good.
Guys. Sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, she lives in Utah. See, I told you needed to write everything down. Even better. We love Utah. Okay. So she's a 2-star diamond. She's a 1-time premier coach, which is such an amazing goal. I have not reached that. She is a Success Club 5 legend for 48 months straight. And she is a Success Club 10 All-Star legend for 36 months straight. So this girl knows what she's doing. She's been consistent in this business for over 4 years, and she's still going strong. So she's already hit Success Club for the month of January, and she's killing it. So I will turn the time over to her because she has a lot to tell us.
Okay. Thanks, guys. So like she said, I'm not Breezy. It's going to pop up as Breezy, but if you're just hopping on. So just a little bit about me, since we are combining. Some of you guys may have never, most of you probably have never heard of me, because I'm someone who hides in the shadows. So I am like major anxiety girl, for those of you who don't know. So like, these still terrify me. I can do it with my own team, but like to branch out, totally not my style. But if I can do it, guys, like anyone can do this. So just a little bit about me. I started Beachbody like almost 4.5 years ago. Just as that's when I started the programs, not coaching. I started coaching exactly 4 years ago this month. But how I got into Beachbody, yes, it is being recorded. So Breezy's my coach. And she's the one who introduced me to Beachbody. Me and Breezy have a lot in common. That's not fun. We actually were neighbors a couple doors down, and we were both struggling with starting families. So both of us had several miscarriages in our culture. We're a very family-related culture. And so everyone and their moms around us were having kids, and we were struggling with it. And I was always a very athletic person. I played sports, like top-notch sports, my entire life, very competitively. And through the miscarriages, I started getting super depressed. I've always dealt with like a little bit of depression and anxiety, but it got super, super bad during this time. And it was like one of the worst times of my entire life. And like, I got married. I was like a size 5 wedding dress. Like, that's what I wore just typically. I was just that, you know. But when I started Beachbody, I was a size 16 to 18, and that was a few years into our marriage. So I ballooned up. I was feeling super miserable about life. I was working as a first grade teacher at the time, and I was getting out of bed because I had a job. If I didn't have a job, I'd be in my sweats all day, and you would see me in bed all day long. And so Breezy had talked to me a little bit about Beachbody, and we had talked obviously a lot about non-Beachbody stuff. We had moved away. We moved to Utah and stuff, but Breezy kind of still kept in contact with me. And we talked still about like testing and, you know, all the fun stuff that you get to deal with when you're having miscarriages. And so I told her no. Probably like many of you probably said no. I told her no several several times. I had failed at everything, you name it. I tried it, Weight Watchers, like you name it, I did it. I tried every quick fix out there, and I didn't want to start another program and spend $160 and fail again. And so I said no a lot. And throughout that, Breezy, and I say this because this is going to like segue into what we're talking about. Breezy never stopped talking to me. And when I said no, she didn't keep talking to me about Beachbody. She would talk to me about life, what I was doing. And that's the reason why I'm sitting here right now as a coach, because it was way more than just Beachbody. So when she approached me, she wasn't a salesperson. That was something she did. And I knew that, but she talked to me as a person. And that's exactly what this business is about. And people ask, like, how do you hit Success Club month after month after month? I simply build relationships. And so when I said no over and over and over, she genuinely wanted, like, had my mind and interest. Yeah, I'm sure she wanted me to like eventually purchase a challenge pack, but I never, ever, ever felt that she was talking to me for a challenge pack, but she was talking to me because I was a person. And so I say that because I want you to understand, like, that really is the key to this business, is building, just building relationships with people. And if you can build those genuine relationships with people, that's when you're going to hit Success Club. That's when you're going to build a team. That's when people are going to say, like, what is she doing? And so I finally said yes. And I completed a 6 days challenge. I bought Turbo Jam, like one of the oldest programs ever. And I completed the 60 days. I only lost 13 pounds altogether, but I went from like a size 16, 18 down to like an 8, 10 in 60 days. And so I went all in because I had my back against the wall. I didn't want to fail again. I was living at my parents' house. Because of jobs and everything else, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. My husband had a job opportunity in Logan, Utah. And the only way for me to be able to be at home with my one child that I had was for us to live with our parents for a year when my husband finished this management thing he was in. And so after I finished my 60 days, Breezy asked me if I wanted to be a part of this Coach Basics group. And I was like, I am not doing anything like MLM, not happening. But Breezy was my friend, and she was one of my really good friends. And so I said, okay. So I was in this like Coach Basic, and don't ask me what the assignments were. Don't ask me like what I was doing. I couldn't even tell you, like, I didn't do them. I just like half crapped them. Kind of just, I did it to please her because she was my friend, and I didn't want to let her down. She had changed my life. And like my health and fitness, I never felt happier, it's so long. I was smiling and laughing, like, how could I not like do something that she asked me to do after she'd done so much? And so afterwards, she's like, yeah, like, what do you think? Do you use this thing you want? I'm like, I want my Shakeology like discounted. That's all I want. Like, so she's like, well, you can get it paid for. And I was like, no, I'm good. And so I told her no again. And after I started sharing what I did, like, I didn't post any transformations. Like, there was no way you're going to see skin of a girl who is way over 200 pounds, like, on social media, like, not going to happen. And so eventually I got brave, and it wasn't an assignment that Breezy posted, but I was like, you know what? Like, I've done this. Like, I want to tell people that I did this. And I did. And I posted that in December. And then people started messaging me about like what I was doing, and people have noticed the shift in me. They noticed not just the physical transformation, but they saw that I was happy and laughing, which never happened in like 2 years because I was so depressed and dealing with depression. And so again, that's when I just opened up and shared who I was, not ever wanting to coach. That's when the light bulb went off and said, oh, it really is just about sharing who I am. And so with that said, I love that there are so many Beachbody coaches because I am not the perfect coach. And I'm not the perfect coach for so many people out there. You're not going to be the perfect coach for so many people out there. But who I am is going to attract a whole different market than who you are. And as you be authentically you, that's when the magic really starts to happen in the business. And when you literally like, you look at Erin and I'm like, she would never know what it's like to be over 200 pounds. But the people that she relates to are going to be a whole different market. I'm excited to work like close with Erin because I'm excited to learn from her, like, fitness side and nutrition, because I don't know that. I mean, I have a very obese family. Like, I have mom who had gastric bypass, a sister that had gastric bypass. Like, that's not the family environment I grew up in. So I don't relate to that. However, Erin relates to a whole different target in the fitness industry that I would be like, metabolic rate, see ya. Like, it just doesn't, like, I'm learning. And it's funny because truth, to miss 200 pounds. I graduated with health education. My bachelor's degree is in health education. So I should know this. I took a nat and phys like 20,000 times to pass it. But, that's the beauty of this business. You may not know what a miscarriage is. Might have never had one. I relate. I've had 7 of them. And so I totally relate. So those people who like have had them, I could reach out to and just talk, because that's something that's super relatable to me. I understand what it's like to be over 200 pounds. I understand those things. And so realize that you have a story to tell, and your story is going to be relatable to different people than my story. So with that, I want to preface with, I am OCD, and I'll be the first to tell you that. My coaches, like the girls that I'm responsible for, will probably laugh. And sometimes they just roll their eyes when they see another tracker, because they're like, but, so like, this may not be like your ideal thing, but I wanted to share what I have for those of you who could take little pieces here and there and apply it into your network, into your business. And so Breezy and I have been kind of building this business for, the last 4 years, and we're bipolar opposites when it comes to organization. And so, but she's like the creative one, so she has this idea, and then I can put it on paper, and then go time. I had the goal to be elite this last year. Well, the last 4 years, and I failed. I did get premier, not this year, but a couple years ago. And I was super disappointed. So every year I've either gotten the points, but not the ranking, or, whatever it is. And so it was super hard. And I really got to thinking, I was like, I worked hard. Like, how did I not hit elite? I worked my bum off, and at the end of the day, I have to take ownership of my own business. And I realized that I was not working smart. And there's a huge difference in how you work. Working hard and working longer hours doesn't equivalent to more money in this business. It's not a 9-to-5 job where you get overtime if you work, extra hours. And so I had to learn how to work smarter. So once I knew elite wasn't going to happen, it was about the time I went to the retreat. I was like, it's just, the points aren't going to add up this year. It's just not going to happen. And so I spent October through December tweaking things and to organize my life a little bit more so that I could work less hours. And it's been amazing. I'll tell you, I work 3 hours. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I work about 3 hours a day. And I've worked 3 hours a day this whole year, and I've hit Success Club. I'm at Success Club 16 right now. I've recruited, I think, 4 or 5 coaches so far this month. So it's not like I've worked harder to get those coaches. I just worked smarter. So I kind of want to go through, and if you're not familiar with the VITAL process, you can go into Coach Online Training, but we're going to talk about the VITAL process. But there's 4 steps to the VITAL process, and I was going to have a PowerPoint all pretty for you, and life happens. So there's no cute PowerPoint, but you do have cute little trackers tonight. So the first step of the VITAL process is to get your clients started. That's step number 1. Step number 2 of the VITAL process is to get your clients results. Okay. Step number 3 is to transition a customer over to a coach. And then the step 4 is to develop and mentor into coaches. Okay, so that's the 4 steps of the vital process. And this is my big goal this year. If I don't go elite, I tried as hard as I could. But this is my primary focus this year, is the vital process. I've got the vital behaviors down. I do them no matter what. It's just those things I've done. My coach said, this is what you do in the business every day to be successful. So I just did. So I got those down. I don't need to worry about the vital behaviors, because that's something that's just, I get up and, get brush teeth. It's the same kind of thing. No matter if I do want to do it or not, I just do it. So the first part is getting your clients started. And like I said, this comes with filling your challenge groups. So the first kind of tracker I'm going to share my screen with you. And this is the first tracker I have. And I do have a coach binder. So this is my OCD nest. Okay, guys, everything's color coordinated, same color binders. But I have like my coaching binder, and then I have my vital process binder. And so this has just like my trackers, things that I need to be doing every single day of the business, my calendar, everything. And this is the action part of the business. This is what I have to do every single day. And so this is like training, all that fun stuff. So I have 2, and talk about OCD. This is driving me nuts. My screen has been like this and I just haven't had time. So ignore the mess here. But I do want to show you, so there's 2 different trackers. I need to see which one. I have 2 trackers that I share, and they're called Win the Week. This is something newer that I did this year with my new coaches. This is how I explain it. So this right here is my Coach to Emerald tracker. And so right here is their goals they're seeing every single day. But here's how, in like their weekly studies, the 1 personal development, what are they working on this week for personal development, what subject, whatever it is, and then 1 business building skill. I don't like my coaches diving into training. And the reason is we can get so lost in training. You can have every little bit of information you need to know about this business, but without action, your business is going to be stagnant. It's not going to move. So I do give them the necessary steps, what Success Club, what Emerald is, those kind of things. But there's no need for them to understand coach placement until they place their first coach. Then I'll explain it to them. Okay, I don't want to overwhelm them with all this training. So as they start building, if they want to know about coach placement, they can go YouTube coach placement videos. If they want to know more about volume, there's everything. In the Coach Online Office, there's a training button you can literally go through in the Coach Online Office. However, I do give them training, and we'll go over that. But that's that. And then we talk about, like, the steps are, you got to take control of your life before you can do your business. So you've got to do that. You start with personal development every day. You're working out every day, your Shakeology, and you're going to review your goals and why every single day. Because without those 4 steps, you can't build your business. If you're not stable, if you're not functioning, if you're not living the lifestyle, people will see right through it. So these are the things you have to do in your business before you can even go into take control of your business. So this is kind of like a 3-step process, right? Like, take control of your life, and then here's like the business building steps. So we talk about like power hours, right? Like, or mom cracks the day or whatever. Like, that can be super overwhelming. All they need to do are these things every day to build their business. Okay, they need to add people to social media. They need to post to social media. They need to start conversations with new people. They need to invite people. They need to follow up. They need to talk to people about coaching. They need to clear out their inbox. They need to check the Coach Online breaking news. They need to recognize, and they need to hit Success Club. Okay, that's what they have to do every single day. I used to have a little bit more on here. I was like, this is not important right now. This is not important. Like, so I really like narrowed it down to like, this is like the meat of what you have to do to make this business work. And then, so literally it's like they can print it back to back. And OCD. So this is mine. I'll show you mine. I have it all on one page, and I laminate it, and it sits in the very front of my folder. And I'll show you that this is the Win the Week from once they're Emerald, and now they want to go to Diamond. It's the same thing. Take control of your life, take control of your business, but now here's a grow your team schedule. So check in on the team page, schedule your posts, connect with people using hashtags, invite to the coaching opportunity, fill your challenge group, the vital process, recruit new coaches, advance on the leadership ladder, connect with the team, okay? So this is where like right now, like grow your team's not that important right now until they hit Success Club and are, Emerald. So they don't need to focus on, a lot of this stuff. Some of it they do. And as they become Emerald, depending on how long it takes them to get Emerald, will depend on that. So this is what I have laminated at the very front of my folder. So every single day I can just like check. So if I have an hour to work, I can go through, okay, what do I have time for right now? What can I do? And then at the end of the day, I can see what I haven't done. I can finish it. I dry erase, or just erase it, and I can start fresh the next day. So this is my win the week tracker to talk to people. I also have, now I don't know if you're familiar, if Erin's talked to you about the 7-step funnel system. Some coaches use it and some don't. But this is also something I give my coaches. It goes through how to talk to people. It's not a science. Like I always give my coaches like the warning. Don't go through, okay, check 1, add them to your list. Okay, check 2, like and comment. Like this is like the process of going through it, but you don't want to be so copy and paste that you're like, okay, hey girl, long time no talk, what's new? Like that's not how I would talk anyways. And so people are like, hey girl, you're a coach, see ya. Like, so you have to be you. But this is kind of like the steps for them to be able to see your comments, to know that you care, to build those relationships. And so this is kind of, and I can send this to you for anyone who's interested. But the way I track to fill my challenge groups is purely pen and pencil, or paper and pen, I mean. I've tried using technology. I've tried using Asana. I've tried using Google Streak. And I always come back to paper and pen because that's me. I can better track it here. So I literally have like a January, and I have like the 12 months of the year, February, March, April, May, and I can mark like where I'm at with them on the 7-step funnel system. And then like at the end of the month in January, if I'm still building relationships or nothing's gone forward, I can write their name in February or March or April, and I can put a note kind of where we left off. And so this is how I personally track like people I'm just talking to every single day. And in my binder, like I have, like I bought these little tabs. They're like 1 through 12. So in my, January, I just have to flip to like number 1, February 2. And then I can take the paper and I can move it to different months as well. But I always cross off and add the person to a new list at the end of the month. People who haven't gotten challenge packs, people I'm having really good conversations with. So that all is under the first vital process is get clients started. So get into Success Club. That's your first level as a coach, is to just get into Success Club. Okay. Then you can build and build and build upon that. So the next one is to get your clients started. And get the clients results. So I've shared this, and I don't know who's seen it and who hasn't. And I'm going to just get off these so I don't keep going back and forth with them. So this is my challenger tracker. And I added, if my team's on here, I added things today as I've been talking to people using it more. I added the date of the challenge pack purchase, the date to contact them about upgrade, and then are they a current HD customer? Yes or no. So this is, I fill this out in pencil because things change all the time. So I do fill this in pencil. But the day that someone buys a challenge pack, I fill this paper out. So what program, I fill everything out for them. I added this because this right here is huge when you're trying to rank advance, right? Do they want to be a coach for the discount? I know, and this is different between every coach, I know you make more money as a customer if they get Shakeology. However, for me, I have retention longer if they're a coach because they're getting the discount on Shakeology. So you've got to make the choice what's more important to you. For me, it's to get them, anyone who signs up as even a discount coach stays, the retention of Shakeology for me stays so much longer than if they are signed up as a customer. So I have the date of the challenge pack. So let's say they bought it on January 18th. I would mark 10 days before. So it would be like February 10th is when I would contact them, asking how they're doing with Shakeology, asking them how they're feeling, asking if they're planning on getting the second bag, and why not sign up as a coach to get the discount. And so that's where that is important. So this is kind of like the process of everything. I, mark everything out. I'm getting them their results. Now in my challenge groups, these are different check marks I have them do. Invite them to post in a group. So to transition now from a customer to a coach, one of the things I do is I invite them to post in the challenge group. I might give them a recipe that I, say, hey, it's date night tonight. I don't have time to post this recipe. Would you mind posting it? So it's giving them opportunities. And I do this with those who are rocking the challenge group, not those who haven't participated at all. And so I encourage them to motivate. I'm like, hey, you're rocking motivation. Would you go and comment on someone's post, that is struggling, that you don't see very often post, or something like that. I invite them to invite someone next month, right? You're rocking it. Who do you know who would be beneficial? Who could use this in your life? Do you want to invite them to the next month? Because now they know how it's going down. Then invite them to coach. Obviously submit their Beachbody results, all that fun stuff, and then invite to coaching. And then, this is the vital process is written on this tracker. So where are they on the spectrum? This is my preseason. So the day they get a challenge pack, there's stuff for them to start doing, right? Right away. So that's what this page is. But then this page is my 6-week tracker. So my challenge groups are quarterly challenge groups, and I have a YouTube video if you are interested how I'm running. I went and talked. It's also on the Team Forward Fitness page if you're on that page as well. But this is how I track every single day. So if you don't know, and I'll show you this real fast, on the My Challenge Tracker app, you can actually go through, let's see. And I only have one group. This is my old one that just pulled up, and it always does that. This is the male group, but this is my January through March group going on right now. If you don't know, you can literally click on participants, and you can see how they're doing over here. You can look at their activity. So we just started this month, this last week, really, because it's the 80 Obsession. I opened the group in the 1st of January, but most people started Monday. So what I do at the end of the day is so you can go into current week, past week, or custom. So today when I was looking, I just clicked on the 17th, and I went to the 17th, and then I hit apply. I go through, I'm like, okay, well that's me. But you would go through and say, okay, she checked in, she didn't do Shakeology, she did her workout. I can go through, okay, she did Shakeology, no workout. And I can see who's tracking and who's struggling. I'm just gonna cover these names up. But so you can literally go through. So when I use my tracker, I check and I'm like, okay, this person's not tracking, or maybe it was just one day, but I do mark it on my tracker so I know who's checking in daily and who's not. So then on this tracker, and I'm all over the place. I had Energize, so if this is not making sense, just slow me down. On the challenger here, I mark they logged, and I have a message. So this is the very first day they start. So I always send them hey girl, we're gonna rock it together. What questions do you have? And this is actually because we're in 80 Obsession. So I just sent that on Monday. Today, I went through and sent them another message. Every single one of my challengers got a voice message. Now, I don't do longer than a minute voice messages when I do it. So it's like a race, right? If you know me, I'm very competitive. So it's what can I fit in 1 minute? So I'll go through and I'll say hey girl, just wanted to, see how you're doing with the meal prep. I know it's super new to you. Where are you struggling? What's your goal? How you doing? All that kind of stuff. I also will say, hey, I noticed you haven't been logging. Are you struggling with your workouts? Are you struggling, or you just don't have time to fill it out? Where are you? So they get a message. The first week they get 3 messages from me, and then it goes down to 2 messages every single week, and it kind of, gets less and less as they go. Now to work them through the vital process, if I'm messaging them and they're not responding, I still don't think I'm a perfect coach, because I have people in my challenge groups that will never participate. They buy a challenge pack and then nothing. They go to like Spaceland. I don't know where they're at, and they never respond. So what I do here is this is again, like in like the 1 through 12 area of like my binder. And so if they're not responding, all I have to do is move their like paper to the February. So I can ask them if they need a fresh start come February. I can ask them, you know, and if they're rocking it on the tracker and I can see that they are doing amazing things, that's when I can invite them to the coach opportunity. That's when I can invite them to see if they're interested in coaching. But I can easily go through here and say, okay, like, and I only have 6 weeks, because after 6 weeks, they're either got it or they don't and they need to restart. And really after like 2 or 3 weeks, if they're not doing anything, I put them in the next month. So does this make sense? Or am I like all over the place with this? Any questions about this? Okay. So that's kind of how I like track them to get them over into the vital process number 2, which is getting them results and then transitioning them to a coach, right? Like that's always like the next step. So when I'm looking at my tracker, I'm looking at, okay, who's logging, who's seeing results, who's my rock stars that are just the natural, you guys know what I'm talking about. They're just the natural, you're like, she would be a dream coach on my team. Like I love her. I get along with her. She, you know, we click, you know, inviting her to that. So I literally have a super, this is like not even like fancy. Like this is people who I have on my radar, rather they're in my challenge group or they're just someone that you're like, ooh, Erin's like amazing at fitness. Like she would be an amazing coach, right? Like so someone's just on my like radar would be here. And then when I make coaching posts, they're called action coaching posts, and they're interested, I can put, you know, when I do my coach opportunity, I run once a month coach opportunities, like groups. I don't do well with calls, and it's my personality. So, but if I have one coming up where I'm going to combine with someone, you know, whatever opportunity I have for them to learn about coaching is, you know, where I like put them. So this is where I would put them in a coach opportunity group, see, you know, follow up, see how they're doing. I do it for a week, you know, it's really 5 days. And then like day 6 is like, do you want to be invited to our team page to see what it's about? And then like a follow up, like, you know, your options. You can sign up as a coach, do nothing, join a challenge group, whatever it is. But this is like where I would invite them to the coach opportunity, nothing fancy. And then the very last thing I do, so that's your like transition to coach. I also have, let me see if I pulled it up. This is awesome. So another thing I'm working on is building volume, because my volume is not as impressive as other coaches. So let me find the paper. I also have this one. This is my discount and hobby coach. And if they're in my downline, it doesn't like matter where they're at. It doesn't matter if they're active or inactive, inherited coach, their name is on this tracker. Okay. I can see, okay, what business center are they in? Okay. This is something that I can just quickly, if they're in my first or second business center, or if they're in my husband's business center, are they a current challenger? And if they're not, why? Okay. Especially if they're inactive. Okay. Or they're not a current challenger, but they're still like buying every month. Like, why aren't they coaching? Like, they obviously believe in it, right? Like, they obviously use it. Things are going well. So are they a current challenger? Yes or no? And then are they active or inactive? So this is something I obviously change with pencil, and every Thursday I can go through, you know, people who went inactive, I can just mark real fast on the other. So it's not taking a whole lot of time. But the reason I do this is now I can really focus on the active, and the inactive, getting them back to active. And so these are the people like I would message, especially like if they're active and they haven't been in a current challenger, and let's say they've been active for 6 months. Well, why don't they want to get their Shakeology paid for? Do they want to become a discount, or, you know, transition from a discount to a hobby coach where they can just invite people and throw them into my group? They make money and I am their actual coach. Or did they miss the coaching opportunity? Fall through somewhere and they don't even know about coaching. And so this is where I can really start looking at the volume of my team and saying, okay, like, because obviously the more they're doing, or even if they become a hobby coach, transition from the discount where they're just using the discount to a hobby coach where they invite a sister, they get cash. They get $50 cash because they bought a challenge pack from their sister. Their sister bought one from them. And that's producing volume for me. It's changing more lives. And at the end of the day, it's a win-win for everyone. So this is where I would change from discount over to the hobby coach. Now, or are they inactive? So why are they paying $15.95 a month if they're not using the product? So let's get them into, are they struggling with their goals? Are they struggling with, why aren't they doing anything? That's where I need to, I don't know if you've heard Carl talk about sharpening the pencil, like find out like what's going on, get a little bit sharper into that point where you can learn about what, why aren't they doing that? First and second. Oh, so the first and second, it's when you start building a business and you get to be what they call a 2-star diamond or above. Beachbody allows you to open, I think it's up to 25 business centers. So it's literally just like another business center that's ran by me. So it's just an opportunity for you to grow and build your business more. So if you're a new coach, you would just have a first business center. It's like your main center. Does that make sense? Hopefully. So this is where I would transition them from the discount to the hobby coach. And then, so this is the other tracker I use for that. And then once they become a coach, so let's say they're like, I'm ready to change lives. I'm ready to do this. I just want to kind of briefly go over the process with you of how I would sign them up, or how I develop and mentor my new coaches. Because this is like a huge part. Now, I'll be 100% honest. A lot of my business time was being wasted on people who didn't want to develop and be mentored. So this is where a lot of my time went down the drain. Like, to take an hour away from your family is hard, right? Like, to squeeze in an hour here, an hour there, and to waste it on someone who isn't like necessarily like not sure where they're at, is where I was wasting a lot of my time. I wanted everyone to coach, and I wanted, to see success, and I wanted to be hands-on. And I realized that this was something, because I'm a more hands-on person. I love, working with those people, but I had to learn, and it's the teacher heart in me. The teacher just wants to reach out to every single person and make sure they're on grade level and make sure they understand everything. And I couldn't do that with this business. So I have 2 assignments they have to do before I talk to them. The day they sign up, I give them a new coach packet. And I probably have an example. If not, I'll pull it up real fast. See, and this is like all my little, this is my coach binder, guys. Tab 3, tab 4. So new coach packet. So this is like the new coach packet that I send them. And this is like their new coach university, right? I don't do coach universities. They're a waste of my time. I don't have time for that. This is where I simplified myself. So I give them my new coach packet. Hi, welcome, all that fun stuff. Their first steps. So here's what they have to do. Okay, I explained there's a Facebook group, there's a Tribe Facebook page. Me and Breezy combined and made a big page, kind of like Team Forward Fitness. And then I have my own PS page, how they can stay connected with the National Wake Up Calls, Thursday night calls. But here's what they need to do. Before they talk to me, they got to fill out a new coach survey. Now, this is not time consuming. I'll open it up so you can see how not time consuming it is. So if they can't fill this out, they're not ready to talk to me. And that's like kind of the brutal honesty of it all. Like, you've got to be aware of your time. And so, I explain, this is what a discount coach is. This is what a hobby coach is. This is what a business building coach is. What coach do you want to be? So it's literally, what's your name? Okay. If they can't fill this stuff out, what type of coach do you want to be? Okay. They don't even have to write. They have to click. Their goals, like where they want to be with the business. What do you envision your life looking a year from now, 5 years now? What makes you you? So what's their story and what's their why? That's all they have to do. And so that's like the first part of it. And then the second part I have them do is I have them watch the New Coach Casserole with Brigida Linford. The reason for it is Brigida's our 15-star upline. I think it's important for them to know who Brigida is because she is the 15th star of like our team. And so I have them just so they know who Brigida is, especially because I don't add them into Team Forward Fitness page unless they're like a solid builder and there's just more resources there. I don't add all my team there anymore. So that way they get to know Brigida. And number two, Brigida talks about Success Club, sharing your story, what Emerald is. So when I talk to them, these aren't foreign words. They've actually heard these words before. And so when I talk to them, it's not like, huh, like the blank stare in the face. Like, I have no idea what you're saying, but I'm just going to nod. And then it's a waste of everyone's time. So it gets them kind of familiar. Then I'll schedule my GSR with them. And my GSR literally, and it's all here, like this is their getting started right. Like, okay, here's how to prepare for your GSR. They got to print what I call the Tribe Control Center, which is like the training part, how to talk to people. Their Win the Week tracker, and then their 7-step funnel. Okay, so I showed you these two. The Tribe Control Center is something I just created for Coach Basics. So it's like literally goes over how to talk to people, how to network, how to be you, all that kind of stuff. So they can print that out. And this is my GSR right here. So I talked to them about the difference in the Tribe page, giving yourself permission to win the day and take action, the daily activities they have to be successful. Again, I quickly cover what Emerald and Success Club is and why that's important. That's the root of it. And now I'm really emphasizing success starters. Why? If you want to go elite, they got to get on the board the very first month. That's one of the big elite requirement points. And so if they hit Success Club, it's like 2 bonus points because now they hit Success Club, you get the extra point plus they're on the board. Okay. So this is the root of it right here. This is what really the GSR is going to be talking about. Action, 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 action. Again, I mentioned they can stay connected with the National Wake Up Call, that kind of stuff, the compound effect. I have all my new coaches read compound effect, the coach online office training, just an outline of it, and then complete their EFT management. So this is how I have now onboarded my coach, and I develop and mentor them. And a lot of that this is like their first steps. So this is like what's the beginning of their binder. And it really is the Win the Week tracker. Like literally they gotta, it's a little bit more modified. But they're gonna start using the 7-step funnel system, building their contact list, posting to social media, all that kind of stuff. So this is where I'm now mentoring them. We had that first call, and now I can see where they're at. Have they posted about an upcoming challenge group? Have they networked? Have they created some kind of dream board? Have, they read over the rookie mistakes? Have they done these things? Because if they're doing these things, that's what's going to be the action part to Success Club. Them watching a video on what Success Club isn't going to get them to Success Club. Them watching a video on how to network isn't going to get them to Success Club. What is going back to number 1, building relationships. And that's really like where, it's just like a big cycle, right? It's just like a revolving door of how to do it. So this is where, and this is what I just started using with mine. We get a committed Emerald date. Their first month, I can track how many coaches or if they hit Success Club or how many points they have, how many coaches they added, because we want them Emerald the first month, the first week, really, like anyone can do it. And then month 2 and 3. Now, if they can hit Success Club 3 months straight, they can add a couple coaches every month. I don't have to worry about them, right? They're on their way. I can touch base with them, but they're running at that point, right? But if they're not hitting these, where are they missing the mark? Is it the vital behavior 1, 2, 3, or 4? Because I guarantee you it's one of those. And networking, social media, all that kind of stuff. So that's when I can go through and see, okay, they didn't hit Success Club. Why? And that's where I can kind of narrow it down and say, you didn't hit Success Club because you haven't posted once to social media, or you haven't talked to enough people. Your inbox this month says you talked to 15 people all month. Well, that's why you didn't hit Success Club. So I can literally go through that process. So did I completely overwhelm and terrify everyone who's not OCD? I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have, even if it's not related to this. Sometimes I know you get like diamonds or star diamonds and you just want to like pick, ask a question, but anything? Have I totally terrified you? Has my energized like completely taken over? And I have sent most of these over to Erin. Like I said, if there's something I didn't send you, and I know there's not, let me know. Our team, like this is all available obviously to you guys as well. We're going to talk more about Coach University and kind of onboarding new coaches on our team page more with Breezy. So, but I'm not one that like doesn't share. I mean, there's certain things that I worked my tail off and that's valuable to mine. But at the end of the day, most of this stuff is in the Coach Online office. It's just an organized one spot place for them. So, okay. Then I'll let you guys go if no one has questions.
Ashley, you are amazing. Thank you so much.
No problem.
My God, like seriously, if I would follow that, I think I'd be an elite coach 2 years ago. Yeah.
This has been beneficial for me. Like I said, I've just learned I've got to use my time management wisely, and it's making those little choices. And now I guess at the end of the day, when I sit down to work, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not sitting there thinking, oh, I'm going to scroll Facebook and see who I want to talk to. I know exactly what I'm going to do when I sit down to work. So.
Yeah. And that's huge because, yeah, I still do that. Like, okay, I've already hit Success Club, like, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, we have a new coach, not university, but like a what is coaching sneak peek coming up. So now who am I going to invite? Like, it's kind of a guessing game at this point. So yeah, I feel like this would be super, super helpful for all of us. So hopefully you all feel the same. And if you do feel a little overwhelmed or whatever, we can definitely do kind of like a backup call and, discuss it or whatever, if you guys are interested in something like that.
Okay. All right, then I'll let you guys go. Have a good night.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Yeah, you're welcome.